You know, every shonen anime has its unique power system. For JJK, it's cursed energy. For Naruto, it's chakra. For Hunter x Hunter, it's nen, etc, etc. But Kaiju number 8 probably has one of the coolest science fiction power systems out here. But before we get to that, let's pick up where we left off. Last week, Kikuru was talking shit to Kafka and even threw bro's car and all that, and she asked him why he smells like Kaiju, and Ichikawa tells her that they work in Kaiju disposal. Bro saved his ass right there, but then Kafka proceeds to lift up the car with his Kaiju powers.
Are you fucking dumb?
And talk about fucking things up. But luckily for him, Kikuru thought that he was wearing a suit of his own, and bro basically created a new rival on the spot. And let me just say, Kikuru is one of those characters that I'm either gonna hate or I'm going to love going forward in this series. Only time will tell. So Kafka and Ichikawa finally take the second exam, and now he has the motivation to do right this time and to not give up. Yeah, about that. Kafka is struggling in the second stage of the exams. So the second stage consists of two parts, the fitness test and the aptitude test. And if he wants to pass the second stage, he needs to get the best marks in the fitness test. And I'm not trying to shit on this man or anything, but did Kafka really expect to pass the fitness test? Like, just because he cleans kaiju shit for a living? That type of physical activity and training for the defense force are two different things. Like, imagine if someone working in construction was drafted in the NFL and had to do tests in the NFL combine to be evaluated. That's Kafka. The worst thing is that he didn't use any of his kaiju powers to help him out because he wanted to be the bigger man and to play by the rules. I can respect that, you know what I'm saying, but that is dumb as fuck. This kaiju defense force shit isn't for the weak, man. You need to get it any way you can. If he used his kaiju powers, it wouldn't necessarily be cheating. You're giving yourself a boost. I mean, that's how the best athletes do it. You're upgrading your stats. Kafka finished in 219th place and Kikuru is putting him on blast as usual. Hoshina and Mina discuss this year's applicants as they go through each of them. The first is Izumo, who graduated top of his class from university. Then there's Furuhashi, and this guy's constantly looking for violence. And then there's this dude as well, but you know, this guy's boring, so there isn't much to him.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Most of these candidates are all from the kaiju universities and shit, but the best girl herself, Kikuru Shinomiya, graduated from the Kaiju University in California at the age of 16 and is said to be the greatest talent ever seen in the history of the defense force. And I knew Kikuru was strong, but this is just ridiculous. She's a child prodigy who was born into a rich family. Like, talk about an unfair advantage. She's on a completely different level to the rest of these bums, and it looks like she's been preparing to become part of the defense force for a long time, because in this episode they get their suits, but she was wearing a suit already before the exam started, so she's definitely been trained. Like, one thing about Kikuru that I've noticed is that she's the total opposite of Kafka's character. She's young with so much potential that she can even become a squad leader, and he's in his 30s trying to start over. Like, it's a pretty interesting dynamic they have as characters, and Kafka is constantly glazing over her talent and she's just mocking him for his age. Like, I just wonder how this relationship is gonna pan out. Now that the fitness test is over, it's time for the aptitude test. The vice captain of the 3rd division, Hoshina, tells them that they must enter a controlled area and eliminate all of the kaiju, but they can't just go in empty-handed because they'll die. So each candidate is given a special kaiju suit, and bro, these suits are fire. For a series which involves kaiju and stuff, I was expecting them to have weapons like the Jaeger suits from Pacific Rim or something, but in this anime they have suits which are made of kaiju muscles, which explains why the kaiju cleanup crew exists, because they use the organs and muscles of dead kaiju to create these suits. Anyone who wears these suits are given an unleashed combat power. Think of it like Deku using One for All's power, but in certain percentages. Ichikawa is given 8% and the other characters are given their respective percentages, but Kikuru, being the goat she is, has a 46% unleashed combat power.
Hey, hold on. I said, hold up, wait a minute. Something ain't right.
Which has never happened before. According to Hoshina, even with training, your power level will only increase up to 20%, but she's already exceeded that. If she's a recruit who's at 46%, just imagine what someone would look like at 100%.
I'm confused right now, G.
I was watching this episode confused as hell, because what determines someone's power level? If you've had previous training, I guess that would make your level higher, but Ichikawa didn't have any prior training but is at 8%. If any one of you are manga readers, please let me know down in the comments. I appreciate it. With everyone having their power levels already, that only leaves our main character Kafka, and I know for a fact that he's going to become the strongest. He has 0%. we're really making it out of the cleanup crew with this one. It's probably because of his kaiju powers that he's at 0%. You don't want the protagonist to be too overpowered. It's time for the final test and everyone gears up to fight. They'll be monitored by drones for the test, and if their lives are in danger, a shield will be activated on their suit, which means that they'll be disqualified. The candidates all enter the battlefield and Kikuru easily disposes of multiple kaiju, and I'm not gonna lie, despite her smug attitude, she really is a badass, I'll give her that. Kafka and Ichikawa are falling behind, and Hoshina lets everyone know that Mina is watching, so the simp within him activates and him and Ichikawa go and help out the others. And it looks like Kafka's knowledge of kaiju came in handy because some of the kaiju they were fighting were the ones that he's cleaned up before, so he understood their anatomies and how to kill them. As Ichikawa and Kafka run to their next target, he's attacked by one of the kaiju and he ends up breaking his ankle. And I know that some of you might be thinking, why doesn't he just use his kaiju powers? First, he can't because the suits are monitored by the defense force, so even if he transformed a part of his body, they would know. And plus, he's being watched, it'll be just stupid to do so. Just as he's about to be eaten, Kikuri comes to save him and mocks my man again. He's got multiple fractures and damaged organs, and Hoshina tells him how trash he is and that he should just drop out. Bro starts giving a motivational speech about how he's not gonna give up, and he went from 0 to 0.01%. Like, I laughed my ass off when I saw that. I thought he was gonna go from 0 to 5% at least. Like, fam, the amount of violation that this 30-year-old man gets is too much, man. They really need to chill. Kafka decides to deal with the pain and he continues to take the exam. Guys, this episode was a decent one, you know what I'm saying? We learned a bit of the power system when it came to the suits and the way it works, which was pretty cool with the unleashed combat power aspect of it. Like, this was pretty much a build-up episode, just introducing the main cast of characters as well as setting up the rivalries and learning more about the defense force. After the last episode showed us a glimpse of Kafka's powers, I'm just wondering when we're gonna get to the action. Like, for an anime about kaiju, I wasn't really expecting a slow pace, you know what I mean? I'm expecting fast-paced action. But you know, it's only the 3rd episode and usually things pop off in the 4th episode. You know, there have been exceptions to that rule, but I think Kaiju number 8 follows the normal shonen anime standards. Thank you to everyone who took out the time to watch the video. For any manga readers and anime onlys, let me know how you're feeling about this anime so far in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, please like, share and subscribe. Until next week, stay blessed.